I'll come with you to the depot.
Smart move. Follow me. Let's get the hell out of this shithole. Everyone here will try to swindle you, but not on my watch. Stay close. Wouldn't want you getting lost in all the junk.
Nothing to say.
If you head north, you won't be coming back anytime soon.
Never earned an honest shard in his life.
Still just as many of those.
Our first stop is outside the crater. The faster we get out of here, the better. Don't want to get any more diseases. I always find the climb difficult somehow. That's the disadvantage of not consuming much ELEX. Your strength starts to dwindle.
Why don't you up your level then?
And risk losing my human form? No way. The people here can never know what I am. I take the ELEX I need at the depot. It's enough. The air is clearing. Sweet. Right, as I was saying. The air is clearing. Sweet oxygen. Can you feel it filling up your lungs?
The stink's not as bad here, if that's what you...
I'll take you there. Exactly. Exactly. Feeling for your surroundings, you know? That's what sets the likes of you and me apart from other Albs. The pinnacle of evolution. My ass. Feeling is fascinating. And most of our people run from understanding it.
These things take time.
What I was trying to say before I was interrupted. You learned that little saying from the humans, did you? Time we got plenty of. Willingness, on the other hand, the will to change isn't exactly something... The will to change isn't exactly something our people have to spare. But that'll change too, just like everything in life. The crater, left by the comet. See all that beauty stretching out in front of us?
Looks like a load of tin shacks to me.
Yes, but that's only half the story. The crater might be the world's biggest junkyard, but it also symbolizes the birth of the Albs. Without the ELEX the comet carried, we wouldn't exist. Well, I've seen enough. How about you?
Let's get moving.
Right. Not to make this weird or anything, but you're one of the reasons why I exist.
What do you mean by that?
The way I look. But, I guess I need to explain. Back when you and the humans... Oh, damn. Look at those two up ahead. I think they want something from us. futuristic. I've butted heads with one of them before. You better handle this. You gotta make sure that they let us pass. Do whatever it takes.
And what are you gonna do?
I'll watch and learn. I'm looking forward to seeing how you solve this one.
Does that mean you're gonna bail on me? We should help each other when we're out on the road.
Even if it means we don't learn much?
Even then.
Fine. You can count on me.
You lost, buddy? Or were you and your friend here looking for a nice, quiet spot for some alone time? Ha ha ha!
We sure are. And from that dirty grin on your friend's face, I think you two can give us a few recommendations.
Should I take that as a formal invitation to smash your face in? You still got one chance to save your fucking skin. Give me some cold, hard Elexit. This is a toll road, you know, and I'm collecting.
Remember what Viper said. He made it real clear we're not supposed to shake down travelers.
Do I look like I give a flying fuck what that measly bastard says? 200 shards, right fucking now.
Here's my counteroffer. You pay me, and I let you live.
I knew this guy was trouble. Come on, let's make a break for it.
Look, you got the wrong idea. It's just a road toll. I gotta ask for it. It's not up to me, honest.
Fork over the Elexit, and we can forget this ever happened.
You heard him. Pay the man.
What? Why me?
Just do it, damn it. Well, looks like that's settled. We're gonna get out of here.
Good idea. Get out of here before I change my mind.
Well, all right.
Well, that was unexpected. I can't believe you spared that vagrant's life. I admit, I assume the opposite. Anyway, let's get out of here. But I do need to slow down a little. My stomach is killing me again. Let's get a little farther. I really don't know what's wrong. It's been like this a few days now. These weak organic bodies are shit. I think maybe I need more ELEX after all.
You wanted to tell me what's going on with your human body.
Many of us couldn't understand how you beat the hybrid all those years ago. And we couldn't ask you because you hightailed it out of there. But a lot of us thought it had something to do with you being able to access your emotions. So to increase our efficiency, we tried reducing our ELEX consumption. Which would have happened anyway, by the way.
Why?
Simple. The converters were destroyed. ELEX production dropped dramatically. Extensive studies had to be conducted on the effects of emotions and how to handle them.
And how were those studies designed?
Well, you're looking at one right now.
You analyzed human behavior in the crater?
Not just there. I went all over the place. Anyway, I need a break. My body needs nutrients, regardless of the state of my stomach. Being human definitely has its drawbacks. Their immune system is pathetic. And the body always needs something. Vitamins here, proteins there, watching the metabolism, watching the blood sugar. It's exhausting. When I was in Albs, I could do incredible things all day with minimal food. But none of this is news to you. So, you want something to eat? My treat.
I won't say no.
Here you go. All the nutrients you need in one simple can.
Is that all?
Taste it. You'll be surprised at how filling it is. I need to eat right now, or I'll run into trouble down the line. Can you keep an eye out? Make sure there's nobody following us? It wouldn't be the first time.
Expecting more outlaws?
Yep, our brush with those two earlier won't go unanswered. Let's try to minimize the risk of a confrontation, huh?
Right. I'll go see if anyone's following us.
Just walk back down the path we came from. But stay within shouting distance so I can come and help you if you need it.
I think I can handle that. See you soon. Skibor was wrong. Nobody's following us. Time to head back.
So, how many people are following us? 3? 4?
Not a single one.
That's annoying. I was hoping for a little escalation. Nothing more exhilarating than an out-of-control situation. The risk, the adrenaline, it's so engaging. Still, we should get going. My stomach is still upset, but I'm just gonna ignore it. Ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Good. Not much farther now anyway. So, I've been wondering, when you kill someone, what do you feel? I have to be honest, for me, it's an incredible high. Something to really savor. The light in their eyes flickers out, their bodies tremble, like slowly squashing a bug.
The way I feel about it depends on who I'm killing.
Oh, I see. Your aversion toward or affection for a given individual determines the level of violence you administer.
You really like to hear your...
Right, as I was saying.
You really like to hear yourself talk, don't you?
Oh, I can't be silent anymore. Not when every word, every breath is a new experience dawning. But you make a good point. I'll hold my tongue for now. That'll help me concentrate moving forward.
I'm in!
Nearly there. I feel sort of empty.
But you couldn't wait to leave a terrorist behind.
Yes, but who knows what awaits me now? It's getting harder and harder for me to stick to the local rules. How do you deal with that when you're forced to play a role?
I don't let anyone force me to do anything.
And the consequences be damned?
I don't worry about them until I have to.
Well, I think I understand what you're getting at. I'll keep mulling it over while we walk. That's basically all I wanted to tell you. The one thing that the depot can definitely offer is complete safety from external threats, anyway. Yes.
That's good.
No creatures, no vagrants.
There's no such thing as absolute safety.
I think I'm beginning to understand why you disappeared from the public eye back then. Nothing gets past our defenses. I guarantee it.
Those kinds of guarantees usually break when hit with cold, hard reality.
Actually, statistically speaking.
Crappy fortifications. Practically anyone could walk through here these days.
depot can definitely offer is complete safety. Right, as I was saying.
That's good.
The one thing that the depot can definitely offer is complete safety. From external threats, anyway. No creatures, no vagrants.
There's no such thing as absolute safety.
I think I'm beginning to understand why you disappeared from the public eye back. Nothing gets past our defenses. I guarantee it.
Those kinds of guarantees usually break when hit with cold, hard reality.
But actually, statistically speaking...
Watch out! Fortifications. Practically anyone could walk through here in those days.
Stick close to me. Where was I? Oh, yes,
Spare me.
Sure, you might still be proven right. These constant attacks are taking their toll. Humans have a lot in common with that horde. They use brute numbers to overpower. Well, here we are. Your new home? Besides, I would be honored if you decided to rejoin our ranks. And I'm one of very few around here who can actually be pleased, so that's gotta count for something. Let's meet up again later. I've got something to take care of. Oh, don't forget the equipment I promised you.
Where can I find you?
If all goes as planned, I'll be at the ELEX depot. Oh, speaking of which, this is for you. Normally we're all allotted fixed rations, but, well, don't ask any questions. Right, I'm running late. I'll see you later.
Albs. Never thought I'd find myself here. Without an Albs head on my blade, I mean.
You should probably keep it down.
Hey, don't be that way.
What took you so long?
Yeah, I had trouble in the crater. The fucking outlaws.
Not interested. Did you do what I told you?
Yeah, of course. Got a little extra, too. Here.
Don't think that will buy you favor. You've tested my patience too long. Go to the silos immediately and take your ration. Your inefficiency is unacceptable. It stops now.
It'll be done.
Skibor's back.
You don't say. I just question how much you had to do with that.
He would have never gotten here without me. I was with him the whole time.
If that's true, Skibor will confirm it. What the hell was that? Let's go. Everybody follow me. What happened? Answer!
I don't know.
I want answers.
Skibor. He was the last one to... He was here to get his ELEX, and then there was this huge bang, and...
That does it. Make sure everyone gets back to work. I'll take it from here.
Yes, ma'am.
Straight answer, now. Is this your work? Did you come here to further attack us?
What? I was with you when it happened.
Don't treat me like a fool. You turn up out of the blue after years away, escorting one of our agents. Then the agent in one of our silos are blown up. Coincidence? Unlikely.
Give me a break. What would I stand to gain from all that?
More than Skibor. We can scrape him off the floor while you stand here and deny it all.
You have no proof, only prejudices.
If you're really not connected to this, it's in your own interest to give me answers. So get to it. Investigate everything. I want to find out exactly what happened. I have to report to Alexator Azok. I want your report in an hour. Go!
What the hell? There's nothing to see here.
But the ELEX, what about our rations?
It's taken care of.
Who and when?
Metal from the ELEX silo. Chunks of flesh. Human. The explosion must have blown Skibor to bits. This metal doesn't look like it came from the silo. Strange. ELEX from the silo. Highly contaminated. Sulfur. Definitely not part of the silo. Maybe used in a bomb. Maybe the silo guards know more about it.
The agents will sort everything out.
Just metal. Just parts of the silo. Nothing suspicious. Can you tell me more about the explosion?
It was huge. It knocked me on my back.
What happened just before the silo went up?
The same thing I told Commander Arissa. Skibor wanted to pick up his ELEX ration. And just a couple minutes after I let him pass, everything went boom.
Had he been acting suspicious?
No, and he wasn't carrying anything that could account for the size of that explosion. I would have noticed a device capable of causing this immediately.
Could someone have planted a bomb in the silo before?
Out of the question. The entire area is continuously monitored.
Someone or something must have caused the explosion.
I don't understand it either. There's no logical or plausible explanation. That's all I can tell you.
I don't think I'll find out anything else. I should let Arissa know.
Project designation BAU 4512. Cleansing the area required several weeks. The last clerics in the area were driven out. Eliminating enemy life forms required additional time. Update. Delivery of building materials from Zakor has been delayed by 3 weeks. Construction of the building is top priority. Addendum. The chief engineer requires further components to optimize stability of the system. First ELEX delivery is expected mid-month. Completion of the silo must be assured.
Well, so be it.
Do you have the information I asked for?
I can't tell you exactly what happened at the silo, but everything points to a bomb attack.
You don't say. And next, you're gonna tell me Skibor was the perp.
That is a possibility, yeah. I also discovered metal near his remains that wasn't from the silo.
Strange metal. That certainly suggests there might be something to your bomb theory. But I need more solid evidence. Alexander Azok wants facts. You will provide them.
Good. Where do we go from here?
The evidence from the silo has not delivered sufficient results. We need a new reference point.
What about Skibor's past? Maybe we'll find some answers there.
Maybe we won't. Our agents enjoy certain privileges. Questioning them would mean certain consequences.
I don't give a damn about privileges. If I'm doing this, it's gonna be on my terms.
Very well. Time is short. I'm prepared to make an exception. You are hereby given permission to inspect his accommodation before we lose another silo.
Where were Skibor's quarters?
The agent's sector, obviously.
You're interrupting an ongoing investigation.
You got a name?
Zarek. And now that that's settled, you can leave.
If anyone has to go, it's you. I'm here at Arissa's request.
Arissa? That changes things. We're on the same team then. I guess we'll both be searching for whoever's behind the destruction of the silo.
Arissa never mentioned you.
That makes sense. Alexander Azok gave me the assignment. He wants to step up the investigation so he and Commander Arissa are working in parallel to solve this one quickly. But I'm about at the limit of what I can do alone. How about we cooperate?
All right, we'll work together.
Excellent. I've already gathered some information.
And what have you found out so far?
So far, I've found no indication of Skibor's involvement. This accommodation is not significantly different from the others. Same furniture, same equipment, with one exception, the safe. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to open it yet.
Well, if your arms are like wet noodles, it's no wonder.
You need more than sheer brawn to deal with this thing. But you'd also need a certain degree of intelligence to realize that. I levered off a locking mechanism designed to prevent intruders from entering a code. Trouble is, I don't know the damn code.
Well, maybe it can be hacked.
It can't. I already checked. We're not leaving till that goddamn thing's open. Let me know if you find anything.
Well.
$10.32, $13.57, $19.48, $23. $10.32, $13.57, $19.48, $23.
We're done for now. Stand by at the bastion.
I get it.
I found an audio log that might give us a clue.
Respect. I must have missed that. But what makes you think it contains the code?
Because it involves a random series of numbers.
What were those numbers?
10, 32, 13, 57, 19, 48, 23. But I've got a feeling that the message is incomplete.
Not random. These are times. And I know what numbers are missing.
How the hell could you?
These are the exact times Skibor received his ELEX rations. It was my job to calculate them for him. The missing number is 14, and I'm pretty sure that if the other three numbers don't do the trick, the last one will open the door. Check it out, then we'll know if I was right.
I'm in. Let's see what Zarek thinks. Skibor's safe is open.
So, what was in it?
Cleric clothing. Does that mean anything to you?
No. It raises a lot more questions. But I want to take a closer look. There must be some kind of clue in there.
No, I'm keeping them.
I thought we were working together. Besides, you did me a big favor. It's time I reciprocated.
And what does the clothing have to do with it?
If you want to improve your standing among the Albs, you'll need to make an impression. If I take the stuff to Orissa and talk up how important your role was, your reputation at the depot will improve dramatically. As a scout and emissary of Azok, my word carries some weight.
All right, here you go.
Interesting.
Huh? What have you found?
Traces of ELEX, and there shouldn't be any. Skibor's rations were specially packed, and he consumed them with the seal intact.
Really? Why?
It was necessary to maintain the change he was going through. You accompanied Skibor to the depot, right?
Yeah, so what?
Did you get a chance to look at his stuff on the way over? Did he take any ELEX with him? ELEX that wasn't sealed?
Yeah, before I went into the depot, he gave me some.
Weird. This whole thing is becoming increasingly complicated. In any case, we should report our find. Orissa's bound to be tearing her hair out already. I got this one. Follow me. Commander Orissa, the investigations at Skibor's quarters have been completed.
Then go run to Azok or get the hell out of my way. It's not you I want to report from.
I think it's imperative that I present the results.
That's gonna have to wait. I need to talk with the man next to you. Why are you working with one of Azok's scouts? You weren't instructed to do that.
Zarek was in Skibor's quarters before me.
That is a lie. I arrived just in time to stop him from destroying important evidence.
Are you sure that's what I was about to do?
His reaction speaks for itself. The best thing would be to remove him from the depot.
Oh yeah, you'd really like that, wouldn't you?
Quiet! What evidence are you talking about?
I found a cleric's uniform in Skibor's safe. I also found out he was dealing ELEX illegally. His supplier is standing in front of you, by the way. The situation is clear. Skibor was a double agent and Jax was his accomplice.
The situation is I'm about to kick your ass.
Enough! I'm interested in facts, not allegations. Go to Azok immediately and await further orders.
But...
Dismissed!
Yes, Commander.
I expect you to carry out my orders to the letter this time. No more complications.
Zarek's trying to set me up. You see that, right?
I'm not interested in your petty shit. You don't understand what's at stake, do you? You know what happens if the depot falls? If these endless attacks break our morale? We're barely holding against the invaders as it is. Without our resistance, it's not just Ignodon that will fall. Everything will. The security of this base guarantees everyone's safety, including yours.
I did what you wanted. What else do you want?
I want you to stay on the case. Zarek's approach is flawed. He's unfocused and jumps to the wrong conclusions. The purpose of the attack, who's behind it, we need to know exactly what happened. Whether or not Skibor was in possession of illegal ELEX is insignificant compared to our larger problems.
If people keep putting obstacles in my way, we're gonna get nowhere.
You will manage. You managed to find a lead before. With that in mind, I'm ordering that your cooperation be continued. You'll use your vast experience and go to the clerics under Zarek's command. If Skibor really was a double agent, we'll find some evidence of that at their base.
Understood. I'll find out if the clerics are involved.
Together. Zarek will be keeping an eye on you. You keep an eye on him. Guard! As long as Jax remains in the depot, you will not leave his side. He is to set off immediately with Zarek for the clerics.
Yes, Commander.
I don't need a fucking babysitter.
And I don't need any more complications. Get out of here. Go and talk to Zarek.
You heard the Commander. Let's go.
I'm looking for Zarek.
Yes, he told me what happened. They say you have been of little assistance. What exactly do you want from him?
I'm going to go with him to the clerics. They may be connected to the attack on the silo.
I assume Commander Arissa ordered this. I'm releasing him for this purpose on that basis. Search the Collector's sector for him. He was going there to investigate something.
Go on, get out of here. Off to the Collectors with you.
You're starting to get on my nerves.
I'm making sure you don't waste any time and get the job done. So get going.
Emotions are not to be.
So we meet again.
Yeah, so what?
You owe me a goddamn explanation.
And you're in my way. What are you doing here anyway?
Arissa ordered us to infiltrate the clerics.
Has she lost her fucking mind?
I don't like it any more than you do.
Ugh. Having to stand by a traitor and a murderer.
You don't like it? Take it up with Arissa. I've had enough of your shit anyway.
You know as well as I do that it's more than your life's worth to defy her orders. Did she say anything else?
Yeah, that you're in command of the mission.
Nothing else would have made sense. Get your gear in shape before we leave. I won't be sharing ammo with you on the way. Once you've got everything, meet me at the south exit.
Hey, pal. You got a half ration for a poor E9?
Again? You hit me up the other day.
Yeah, I remember, of course, yeah. I'm just trying to get a stash together for, you know, if push comes to shove. So you got something for me now?
Here, take it.
Thank you so much. When I make it to a higher level, I won't forget that you helped me.
My work is done. Our safety depends on your success, remember that.
Does this mean I'm finally rid of you?
It means you're supposed to get stuck in. Go get your gear and get the hell out of here.
Follow me.
Copy that.
No, just can't do that yet. What do you have to trade?
Feel free to take a look. You know the game. Give me...
Here's your ELEX. Let's trade.
Sure, fine, whatever.
What good's...
Your mistrust is unfounded.
The logic behind this is not clear to me.
Any objection is unfounded.
None of this is worth anything.
I have to think this over.
I have to strongly disagree.
I really don't have an opinion on that.
Correct. Log, 1 weekly ration dispensed to 348-9-14. What do you need?
I want to buy something.
What'll it be?
The directive is
That
clear.
was your last free ration. You want to purchase supplementary rations?
Not right now.
Very good.
A mistake is unforgivable.
That's only going to annoy people.
It's anything but efficient.
Ready?
Now, are you gonna tell me why you tried to pull that shit with me and Arissa?
I had my reasons.
Oh, yeah?
Listen, the only thing we've got in common is the mission. Nothing else.
If I can't trust you, our cooperation is worthless.
I just can't stand you. Is that clear? Anything else?
Am I supposed to just take that from you?
Take it or leave it. You've certainly taken the joy out of our triumph. We could have been kings of the world. Instead, everyone who's ever mattered to me is rotting in the ground. For me, that's reason enough to expose your oh-so-special efficiency for what it really is. Nonsense.
What did you want from the collectors?
Answers.
Did they have anything to do with the attack?
Don't worry your empty little head about it.
Let's get this over with.
All right. Let's get out of here then.
So, what's your plan?
You'll find out soon enough. Until then, you follow my instructions and shut up.
If we Albs take power again, everything here will be cleared away.
Do you know the cleric's base of operations?
No.
That's bad for you.
Why?
I'm making statements, not opportunities for your stupid questions. Come on, move it. we go. We'll go around the side of the mountain. Trying to cross it is far too dangerous.
If you say so.
Come on, move it, and keep it quiet. You don't need to stomp around like a rot boar. Stay close to my side and watch out for any moving shadows. I don't want any surprises.
Why are we stopping?
Just a feeling. We need to get the lay of the land. I'll go on ahead. You follow a short way behind. Keep a low profile. Watch yourself. A troll makes less noise than you.
You don't say. What is it now?
2 clerics up ahead. Dead by the looks of it.
All I see is a few animals.
We're gonna have to get rid of those crystal rats before we get anywhere near the bodies.
No problem.
I'll go ahead. There's a body missing.
What makes you say that?
These 2 are scouts. They move in 3s.
What the fuck were the clerics doing here?
Looking for resources. We've been eating into their territory, so they've been struggling for supplies. But it was a necessary move for us.
Necessary? Why?
Ignadon is of great strategic importance. The clerics would never be able to defend this region against these invaders.
And you're sure of that?
They couldn't stop us. How could they stop them? When you look at it like that, they're lucky we drove them off. Whatever. Let's focus on finding the 3rd scout.
After you.
Not so fast. Take whatever you can use from here. The attackers had no interest in equipment. We can take advantage of that.
I'll be right back. Good to go.
Good. Let's move out. It can't have been long since the attack. The trail's still fresh. Dead. That's what I thought. His injuries were probably too severe. You've dealt with the clerics before. What led to their collapse? Not that I mind, of course. I'm just interested.
Their faith was their downfall.
Faith? I'll never understand the madness behind that word. There's nothing more we can do here. Let's... Ambush! Down! Interesting fighting style. Looks like you haven't forgotten everything.
That's high praise, coming from you.
Just stating facts. If we hadn't beaten back the invaders, their plan might have worked.
You think they were trying to lure us into some kind of trap?
You really can't connect the dots here? The trap was for the clerics. The loss of their scouts wouldn't have gone unnoticed for very long. Their rear guard wouldn't have survived the ambush. They would have been destroyed one by one. But we were an unknown variable. That's the only reason it didn't work. But let's clear the way and do it on the double. They've underestimated our strength once. I don't think they'll do it again. Caracas is unsafe terrain. That incident with the Strange One shows this all too clearly. We'll have time to rest when we reach the cleric's base. But until then, let's go for it. Just so we understand each other, we don't use violence against the clerics, all right? No matter what problems we encounter. Getting hold of information has absolute priority.
Why are you telling me that?
We need to of skirmishes doesn't seem to be dropping off. Over there, rock dragons.
Let's just go around them.
Our options are limited if we want to keep to the timetable. Apart from that, I'm not really sure about how good they are at picking up scents. Taking them out doesn't pose any significant risk. The probability of us losing a fight against this lot is in the region of 0. Follow me. I prefer these creatures to that purple horde. Their attacks are predictable, and that makes them a lot easier to fight. It's a flaw in their instincts.
And now, the rock dragons are finished.
Yeah, but I still feel something that could be described as dissatisfaction.
Didn't I deal with those critters fast enough?
We're supposed to clear up the big things, yet we keep stumbling over the small things. I have to optimize our route. Fortunately, I know of an alternative that should speed up our progress.
And that would be?
You'll see. Now let's go. Our goal is drawing closer. Now for my alternative. We go through the mountain. This path should be relatively free of any danger. At least it was the last time I tried it.
A shortcut?
A life insurance policy. Inside the mountain will be safe from further incidents. Let's hit the road. But stay close. Better safe than sorry. Facilities like this often end up as connecting roads for primitive means of transportation. Luckily, we Albs don't need archaic human devices.
You do realize we're on foot, don't you?
I'd prefer a raider, but circumstances don't allow it. Look out! Someone's coming! Get in position!
What are you doing here?
You deal with it. My expertise with people is limited.
Hey, I asked you something. Who are you and where you from?
We're gonna go see the clerics.
Really? That's so. A human with an alb. Not every day you see that. Buzz will be delighted to meet ya.
Buzz? Who's that?
Our leader. And you're in luck. He just got back. We're a band of traveling merchants. We use this place as a base of operations. Usually we just do business on the road, but since we got guests, we can let them stock up on equipment here. Don't worry, we don't judge. Not even against Albs. You'll find we're very accepting of everyone. Tell your companion and then follow me.
Can we trust her?
No, we're about to find out.
Good. I'll keep a low profile. You go first.
What's the holdup? You're the first guests here. Things are a bit messy, but whatever.
Where are you from?
Most of us were a part of Baxter's old gang, but then he went legit and started playing Mayor of the Crater, so we left. We didn't want any part of his junkyard utopia in the crater, so we left and came here.
Who told you about this place?
It was written on some paper from the old world. Took us a while to figure out what we'd be dealing with here. Then it all happened super fast. Pack up our shit and chase the vermin. That's pretty much it. Welcome to our humble home. Buzz will be back there. Go talk to him.
Looks like you're a long way from home, friends. Pleased to meet you. I'm Buzz. I run this little sanctuary for wayward souls. Now, what can we do for you?
Tell me about you and your people.
I'm sure Veronica gave you most of the details, so here's the short version. We're a group of outcasts, refugees, and others who've been exiled. We're mercenaries who found a safe haven here. Now, I'll ask you again. What do you want from us?
I'm looking for new gear. Do you have any?
Yeah, we do. We've got all types of fresh new stuff. What are you looking for? So the question is, can you afford it or not?
What's the going rate?
Let's make a deal. Look, forget what I said about gear. We are in need of some armor ourselves. Your friend here is pretty quiet, but he's got something I could make use of. If he's willing to part with his armor, I'll let you pass. It's a generous offer. I recommend you take it. Because you two won't get out of here otherwise. Not with all your limbs, that is.
We're not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with us.
You trying to scare me, candy ass? Now you're full of shit. Wanna bet? Yeah, I'm not as dumb as I look. But neither are you. Look, I've got a business to run and a reputation to maintain. I gotta clean out your pockets. It's the least I can do. And you've got a whole lot of shards in those pockets. So make me an offer I can't say no to, and I'll let you pass. If you can't bear to part with some shards, you'll be digging your own grave.
You're not merchants, you're reavers. Low-life scum.
Merchants, reavers, what's in a name, hmm? I just focus on doing good business. And if your friend here doesn't hand over the armor now, both of you are gonna pay with your lives.
Here. Now tell your lackeys to back off.
Okay, that's a good deal. I'll take it. Even if I would have liked the armor better. Not much I can do about it, though. I'm sure we'll catch another Alb in our web sooner or later, huh?
So we have your word that you'll let us go?
Yeah, just this once. But if I see either one of you again, you'll be shot down before you know what hit you. Keep that in mind when you're leaving the tunnel. Now get the fuck out of my face.
Was he satisfied with the Elexit?
Sure looks that way.
I would have preferred to eliminate him and his gang. We're done here. Let's move out. At last. Fresh air. Remind me not to use this shortcut again for a while.
I'll keep it in mind.
The clerics are within range, but first we need to clarify something. Why did you take my side? After all, it wasn't about your armor. If I were you, I would have met the Reaver's terms without hesitation.
On principle, I don't abandon my partners.
Not even me? Huh. Interesting. Let's concentrate on our mission again. It's not far now. On we go. We're at our destination. The cleric's base lies before us. This is where we part ways.
Where do we go from here?
Since the clerics are hardly likely to let me into their base, you'll take over that part. Listen, I found an ID card in Skibor's cleric uniform. Show it to the guard at the gate. It's a checkpoint. They'll certainly be able to do something with it. Depending on how they react, you adjust your behavior. Remember, our goal is to find out if Skibor was responsible for the attack on the clerics.
And what are you going to do in the meantime?
I'll wait for you to engage the guard in conversation, then slip in undetected. If you don't succeed, maybe I will. But there's one thing you shouldn't forget. Whatever happens, don't let the clerics know on whose behalf you're traveling. If you're exposed, it could compromise our mission and the trail goes cold. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Keep to yourself the news that those scouts are dead. You only play that trump card when it's needed.
Excuse me. Yes, you. Haven't seen you around here before. Well, whatever your reasons for coming here, we clerics aren't in the business of turning people away. That said, it's my duty to make sure every traveler who arrives here knows how we run things. No stealing and no fighting. Understood?
You don't look like a cleric. Not like any I've ever seen.
Ha! I'd much rather be wearing the official uniform, but we have limited resources.
So where did that armor come from?
A while ago, our scouts came across some berserkers and Morkons fighting. The berserkers were completely outnumbered, didn't have a chance. The Morkons wiped them out and just left their corpses where they fell. It was the scouts' duty to give them a half-decent burial.
But it wasn't possible to bury them with such bulky armor?
Yeah, though as you can see, it's been put to good use. We clerics do not tolerate wastefulness. Now, I know you're not here to talk about armor. So, how about I give you a guided tour? It's quiet right now. I can leave my post for a while. Unless you have any more questions.
How are things here?
These are troubled times. We've been attacked, displaced, scattered. There's a risk that our community, our identity, will be lost forever. People are losing hope. They don't believe this situation will ever change.
What situation?
What situation? Have you been living in a cave? The Albs drove us out of Ignadon. Then those disgusting creatures rained down from the sky and caused havoc. We've lost nearly everything. Our very existence is under threat. Should I go on?
Sorry I asked.
Don't get me wrong, we're not all in despair. Some of us still believe we have a future. If we can regroup, focus on things we can achieve, not what we can't, play to our strengths. If we can do that, I'm certain our ranks will start to increase again.
Tell me, are you the only guard at this gate?
Yes, if you don't count the combat mechs. Completely unreliable, those things. Too glitchy. Anyway, I can't complain. It's a solitary job, but my work allows everyone to sleep soundly. I'm proud of that. A cleric dedicates their life to saving others.
Have you seen this ID card before?
Wait, isn't that... You need to talk to Hagen. Actually, I know where to find him. Let me take you. I want to show you around anyway, get you familiar with the place. Stay close to me, okay? First, I'll show you the habitat. It's where all the acolytes sleep. You can get some shut-eye there too if you like. I expect you're tired from such a long journey. Just pick whichever bed looks good to you. There's more than enough to go around. Here we are. Take a quick look inside. I don't mind waiting.
Okay, back in a moment.
All right.
This is Herbert speaking to you.
I'm in.
Well, you took your time. Those mattresses are certainly very comfortable. But now that you're fully rested, let's move on. Although, there's something I need to ask you first. Are you a believer?
Does it matter?
Not really. I'm just curious. So are you a believer or not?
I am.
Good. Then I've got a surprise for you. Brother Johannes is about to start a prayer service. We'll be just in time for it. Oh, darn it. I guess I spoiled the surprise. Let me take you there. When I do have time to myself, a quiet moment, I find solace in prayer. Outsiders often find this hard to understand, but let me tell you, 1 week at my post would make anyone start to believe. The canteen is right next door, by the way. The selection is, well, limited. But if you chew a little longer than usual, you should be able to keep it down. Looks like we're right on time. I know I was gonna take you straight to Hagen, but we're not in any rush, right? Listen to Johannes for as long as you want. If you like the sermon, I don't mind staying to the end. Just let me know when you've had enough.
Brothers and sisters, hear me. I have been blessed with another revelation. A message has come to me. A message of hope and peace. You call yourselves exiles, but here you have found a new home. You call yourselves lost, but the Creator shows you the way. You call yourselves powerless, but prayer gives you strength every hour of every day. If you accept the Creator as your Savior, you will achieve enlightenment. Who can doubt His glory?
I can. The Creator is testing you! Show some faith!
My son, how can you deny the truth?
Because we're poor and afraid and have nothing to eat. This community, it's built on sand. One gust of wind and it's all gone.
And yet still we stand. From the ashes we rose. Now our numbers are increasing. You cannot deny the Creator's miracles.
The real miracle is that I'm still here. I've had enough of this bullshit.
He who rejects the hand of the Creator will be subject to His judgment. Praise be to you all. Now go, feast upon the fruits of your labor. May the Creator bless you.
There goes another.
Another?
That man who left during the sermon, he's the 4th one this month. Not everyone shares our optimism about the future. People are losing faith, turning to other activities to find solace. I just don't understand. Our faction serves the common good of all mankind, yet still, people turn their backs on us. But I must be stoic. I'm losing enough sleep over this already. On we go. I'm glad you listened to the sermon right up to the end. Words can be extremely persuasive, though it's essential we turn those words into action. They're also a major source of comfort and support. It takes a believer to understand that, like you and me. That's the Regent's Citadel. Next to that are the archives. The Citadel is where our people conduct vital research. The archives are where they safely store that knowledge. Not the kind of work that I'm interested in. Let's not go inside. You'd be bored to tears, and I'm trying to make this tour interesting. Come on, nearly done.
If I have stuff I don't need, where can I offload it?
Maybe talk to Vivian in the merchant storehouse. Head to the southern side of the castle. Go left as you enter through the gate. Okay, that's about it. You should have a rough idea of where everything is. And don't forget, if any of the buildings spark your curiosity, just go inside and say hello.
Just like that?
As long as you don't get in anyone's way, no one will mind. This is the Judicator's Basilica. Humble folks like us tend not to hang around here, unless you're standing accused of something. I suggest you be extremely careful what you say and do in Hagen's presence. He's in charge of passing out sentences.
You think you can do it?
I know how to behave.
Just wanted to make sure.
Come on, let's go see Hagen. We have to figure out this whole thing with the map.
I see.
Allow me to go first. You can speak with them after. Judicator Hagen, please allow me to share some important information with you.
Alex, in the name of the Creator, how many times have I told you to cut the formalities?
Oh, but of course, well, you requested that I inform you with the utmost urgency if a certain person graced us with his presence once more.
God damn it. That sentence needed half as many words. Look, just tell me what this is about.
Please cast your eyes upon this ID card.
May the Creator save us. Is the owner here too?
I fear I must disappoint you. The person in question is not present. Rather, the card was in the possession of the man who accompanies me.
All right, send him forward. Stop wasting my time. You can go back to your post.
As you wish.
You and I have met before. Where have I seen that face?
We met in the Hort.
Right, in the Hort. I trained a lot of recruits there. You know, back when it was still in one piece. Finding a single half-decent recruit was a near impossible task. So I'll get to the point. Are you gonna help us out or not?
It depends. What do you want from me?
To be honest, quite a lot. But I'll take that as a yes. Look, anyone who works for me gets food, shelter, and fair pay for a day's work. Think it over. My door is always open. You'll find me a fair boss. I always speak my mind, even if I do seem a little blunt at times. Take this. Use it to pick up your rations in the canteen.
I guess we won't starve.
We take care of everyone. We're happy to share what we have. Any other questions? Fire away. Anytime.
What can I do to help?
Simple. Go where help is needed. Then help. As far as I'm concerned, that's all it takes for me to treat you as a cleric.
That's it?
I'm a soldier. I don't like to overcomplicate things. I can't provide you with a uniform, though. We are all out of those.
You're kidding me.
No. Our armorer offers the standard protective gear, but no uniforms. The only one left is a regent's uniform, and I'm not giving that to you.
Why not?
Well, more accurately, I'm not giving it to you yet. You'll have to earn it, and that won't be easy. If the armor's really what you want, you need to gain access to the Albs.
Infiltrate them.
Right. I told you it wouldn't be easy. I'll also tell you why this is so important to us. Ever since they began occupying Ignadon, the Albs have left us in peace. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee they'll keep that up. The Albs are a threat we can't ignore, so I like to be as informed as possible. It's not enough to be one of their scouts. Gain the rank of trooper, and then we'll talk.
The ID card that Alex gave you. What's up with it?
I was hoping you could tell me.
Cut the crap. You know something.
It does look familiar, but I want to make absolutely certain there's no mix-up on my part. I need to confirm that the name on this card is the same one I'm thinking of. And to do that, I need a particular log from the production hall. Bring it to me, and then we'll talk.
So where in the hall is it?
Talk to Kino. He works there. He'll know where to find it.
That won't particularly help us.
We're done. Did you know that some Reavers have set up camp nearby?
That's not possible. I would have received word.
That depends on how good they are at hiding. The way into their base is on the northern flank of the mountain.
You're talking about the old tunnel system. I knew someone or something had settled there. I assumed it was just some local wildlife. Have they been dealt with?
It's still a work in progress.
I can't spare anyone to go after those degenerates right now. Nor can I justify assigning anyone. Not like the Reavers are exactly storming our walls. But if you want to go play pest control, be my guest. I would show you the appropriate gratitude.
Jax, a most unexpected visitor to our holy halls. Is it fate that in these troubled times you have found your way back to us?
Again, we meet with dark clouds hanging over us. Little has changed since we took up arms against our common enemy.
At that time, you spoke of mankind's impending doom, and of those who would cause it. It shames me to think of how little heed I gave your wise words.
Forget it. I've had moments of doubt myself.
And out there, the invaders build their towers of destruction. Exactly what you tried to warn us of.
Actions are what count. We must think about our future. How to destroy this enemy.
That's exactly what we're doing. Now the wounds inflicted upon us have healed. We have rallied ourselves and are planning our resurgence.
I was hoping you could help me. I need some better gear. And some good instructors in the art of armed combat.
I see. You've lost a great deal of the strength you once had. The war against the Albs took a great deal from all of us. And the situation seems liable to get worse in the future, not better.
That war was 6 years ago. It's not a problem anymore. I was bitten by one of the invaders' dark creatures, infected with their plague. It crippled many of my combat skills. I need to work on them again, from scratch.
I wish I could help you, but in these dark days, I have to think about my own faction. We have neither the resources nor the time to train you, or to share our weapons.
That is unfortunate.
To us, you are an outsider. We must focus on our own survival, and that means holding on to every last scrap we have.
I believe you're trying to talk me into joining the clerics.
That would be one way to solve this dilemma. Though, from the look of you, you'd have to start your training with the basics. That isn't something the clerics can afford to offer you. We simply can't spare the manpower or the relevant supplies. That's my final word, I'm afraid. We won't be able to give you basic training in our weapons technology.
You know, I like your attitude. I'd like to join you.
I'm glad to hear that. Our approach to combat closely resembles that of the Albs to the north. If you want to join us, I suggest you go to them first. They can teach you the basics.
You want me to train with your enemies?
They're not the only ones who would rather see us dead. These last few months, many evils have come to torment us. The Albs are the least of our worries. When you've completed your basic training, we can talk again about your initiation into the cleric community.
As an Alb commander, my specialty was ELEX abilities. My repertoire didn't include other weapons until much later.
Then it's those abilities you should start improving. They will make you a valuable asset to the clerics.
I'll be returning to you as an Alb. You're okay with that?
That is what you were in the first place. Once you've learned the fundamentals of high-tech weaponry, speak to Judicator Hagen. He'll be able to answer your questions. We all have burdens to bear. I wish you every success on the rest of your journey.
hell is wrong with you, you piece of shit machine? I'll be right with you. Give me 1 sec. Let's go through it again. Servo motor, check. Hydraulics, check. Helix intake, check. Central processing unit. Ugh, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Okay, I have some time now. How can I be of service? Or maybe you can be of service to me. Know anything about combat mechs or drones? I'm struggling with the instruction cycle. They're like normal instructions, only more, technological.
What's the error? Is it the number of clock cycles? Or the assignment of addresses in memory?
What? Look, just forget I ever asked. I'll figure it out, eventually. So, what do you want again?
What do you do here?
I solve problems. In theory, anyway. These shiny little buddies here, the ones we're endlessly tinkering with, sooner or later, they're supposed to fill the gaps in our ranks of soldiers.
Looks like it might be a while.
That's not quite true. I already have a prototype. All it needs is a little testing. You try getting results with a roll of wire and a few rubber bands. I'm not the problem here. I was trained by Master Goddard. May the Creator bless his soul. Unfortunately, my work here also makes me irreplaceable. I can never find the time to go out and give my prototype a proper field test.
I'll test it for you if you like.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, why not? I would prefer to test it myself, but I won't turn down the offer. Right, so I'll set the prototype to run a routine outside the castle. I want you to follow and observe. It's programmed to protect us from enemies, so you should pay attention to how well it identifies and fights threats. Keep a record of how long it takes to deal with the enemies. I need to know if it's running efficiently or not. It should be approximately 37.5% faster at threat recognition compared to previous combat mechs.
Got it.
Great. Just hold on a second then. I'll send it on its guard routine. Get ready to give chase.
Hagen sent me. You're supposed to give me a production log.
Right, of course. Well, good thing you came to me. Without my key, you would have turned the place upside down and never found it. It's in my chest. As a precaution, don't want anyone with sticky fingers picking it up and getting it all, you know.
Great. Anything else?
Give the key to Hagen, as well as the production log. I'll get it back from him later. Unit ZX-01. Initialize new routine. Execute routine Alpha 1 with subroutine B. Huh. Well, these readings are all a little odd. What the...
I've got it. Now let's see if Hagen can cough up any useful information.
I have the sinking feeling that I might need to work on the prototype a little bit longer.
You don't say.
Sorry, I must have made a mistake when calibrating the enemy detection. Good thing we managed to destroy it, huh? Kind of a shame, though. Now I have to start from scratch again. Still, thanks for wanting to help out. I appreciate it. I'll let you know when I have a new prototype ready for testing. Provided you still want to help, I mean.
Yeah, I'm not so sure of that.
Here, take this. We'll call it hazard pay. Found what you're looking for, go see Hagen. I'm busy waging war on this collection of nuts and bolts.
Do you train technicians too?
I don't have, time. Right, I don't have time for that. But I've seen Vivian joggle a wrench now and again. Not that she comes close to my level of skill, but she can show you how to open a can, that sort of thing. Go and ask her. You can find her in the merchant storehouse.
Don't you have anything better to do?
We didn't receive a reply, sir. The scouts remain MIA.
And the search party?
Returned without success. Damn it. That is a direct violation of my orders. They will move out again at 0600 hours tomorrow. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Dismissed.
Are you all right? You seem a little, frustrated.
You think? Most of those I command would rather shirk their duty than carry it out. Our scouts have gone AWOL, but that's not your concern. Did you get the production log?
Here.
Good. I'll put that straight in the trash where it belongs. Now, answer me this. Other than the production log, did you, take anything else away with you? A leg zit from Kino's chest, for example?
Nope. Not even one measly shard.
I'm surprised to hear that. I expected otherwise. Now, I owe you an answer. You wanted to know more about the ID card. This card was given to a man who spent some time here a while ago. Like you, he came in from the outside. He settled quickly here, knew his stuff when it came to technology. That's why I assigned him to Kino. Big mistake. Wasn't long before he stole from us and then disappeared.
What did he take?
Metal mostly, and a handful of screws. No idea what he was planning. I'm hoping you can tell me a little more.
He used the things he stole to make a bomb.
A bomb? That low-life sack of hammered shit. Just so we're clear, we had nothing to do with any bomb. If you find this man, send him to me. He deserves to face my wrath.
I could send you a piece of him. Would that do? Sending all of him would be almost impossible.
Huh. In that case, forget it. But I do have another request. If on your travels you happen to run into anyone with leadership potential, please send them my way. As you know, our forces are being stretched extremely thin. We need reinforcements, and soon. I would view such a service as a personal favor.
I'll keep it in mind.
That's all I ask.
Jax, is that you? What a wonderful surprise. It's been what, 6, 7 years? You look well. How are things? Need help with anything?
Glad to see you again too, Ava.
I have so much to tell you. I'm guessing Alex showed you where you can bunk down for the night. I expect you've got a lot on your mind right now. If you need a little time to yourself, I completely understand. We can catch up later. Maybe you share a bottle of wine, if that's your thing.
What exactly do you do here?
I'm in charge of the Archives of Knowledge. I don't know if you remember, but once upon a time, I wasn't even allowed to step foot inside the archives. And now look at me. I'm responsible for preserving all the knowledge we have. How times change. It was so long ago, it feels like a different world. Remember our old home? All that was left was a smoldering ruin. If you're interested, I can also share some of my newfound knowledge with you. What do you say?
What can you teach me?
Mainly things that'll improve your cognitive abilities. And looking at those muscles of yours, I can see that it's about time you started training your mind, too.
Mind if I take a look around the archives?
I'd be insulted if you didn't. If you're looking for anything in particular, just let me know.
Are you lost?
Hey, you, got an ID card?
Of course.
Fine. When you're ready, come get it. Your daily ration. One standard portion, same as everyone. It's not exactly fine dining, but it does the job. You hungry?
My rations, please.
Here you go. Get it while it's hot.
How long have you been the cook here?
Ever since we evacuated from the Hort to the castle. I got the job by chance. The clerics lost so many people they didn't have anyone to spare.
I thought you were a cleric too.
I am now, but not back then. I was sitting pretty in one of their jail cells. They set me free when they abandoned the Hort. Here was the only place I had to go. I mean, I didn't want to make friends with the Albs, so I just went with the clerics. It was definitely the right choice for me. I just wish everybody saw it that way.
You're not popular around here?
Well, I get along great with half the people around here. The other half, I just stay out of their way. I can't blame them. I used to be an outlaw. It's no use trying to hide that fact. I just wish they'd look me in the eye and speak their mind instead of creating all kinds of trouble behind my back.
Maybe I can help. What are their names?
When you say help,
I'll have a little chat with them, make them see sense. And if they don't...
No, I don't want any violence. Brother Johannes teaches that the Creator only permits violence in emergencies.
Outlaw turned true believer. I'm surprised.
With what I've seen and done in my life, I should be a sobbing wreck by now. My faith is what gives me strength. Of course, I can't prove the Creator actually exists, but the mystery is truth enough for me. No mortal has ever been able to answer all the big questions. It stands to reason that there's forces out there greater than all of us.
Hello, stranger. Interested in a trade?
Let's do business.
Of course.
Good deal. If you ever need anything else, just come to me.
Now tell that old goat to get over here with the shards.
Hold your tongue. That's not proper behavior.
Then pay the damn invoice.
There is no invoice, only your offer, and we reject that.
Oh, really? You need metal. We have metal.
How did you even know about our shortage?
Professional secret. Now, let's see.
No. Tell your employer we're not interested.
The boss won't make you another offer like this.
Well, that's something to be glad about. Show our guests to the door. I want to make sure they don't get lost on the way out.
We could do without company. Have a nice day. Assholes. Not right now.
Hey there. What goods have you got?
Of course.
Hiya, kid. If you're looking for everyday clothes, I might have something for you. The range is pretty limited, but I'm sure we can find something to suit you.
Can I buy cleric armor from you?
Standard stuff won't do, huh? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but our armor is in short supply. We lost most of it when we fled from the Horde.
I guess that means I leave here empty-handed.
Well, I do have one absolute gem left, but it's under lock and key.
What do you mean?
We still have a set of Regent armor, but if you want it, you'll have to make a big impression on Judicator Hagen. I can't release anything until he gives me clearance.
You busy?
Well, little, but I'm fine with that. You know, we used to go out at all hours of the day and night and get into some kind of fight. Now, we just don't have the soldiers. On the plus side, it means we're not constantly mourning the fallen. But as long as we're chatting, maybe you can tell me what things look like out there. I hear that the Dark Horde are putting up those towers everywhere. Is that true?
I can confirm that. My place got hit pretty hard.
Whoa, and you're still alive? If that happened to me, I'd crap my pants. How'd you make it out?
Dumb luck.
In my experience, there's no such thing. The Creator has plans for you, no doubt about it. In any case, thanks for the chat. It's good to talk to someone else. Here, from my personal reserve. It helps against every horror.
You up for a trade?
Sure.
If you want to buy something, go see my merchants. They'll sell you what we can spare.
What do you make of this?
Let me see it. Give it to me. Who gave you this piece of crap?
I was told you'd take it off my hands.
What am I supposed to do with some worthless scrap metal?
Worthless. It's gold.
Oh yeah? Take a closer look. It's iron with gold coloring. And I'm not even sure it's real iron. Someone ripped you off.
Are you totally sure?
Absolutely no doubt. Though I have to say, the forger who made this is a real expert. Who was it? I mean, they seem to know me, right?
Said his name was Hank.
Doesn't ring any bells. But who'd use their real name in this line of work, huh? Whoever it was, they thought I'd be fooled by this. Didn't realize I'm not a simple merchant. I have experience in dealing in stuff like this. Hey, maybe if you hurry, you can catch them before they get away.
Kino says you're good with technology.
Oh yeah? Somehow I doubt he put it quite so nicely. The only ass he kisses is his own. If he talks about me, it's only to make me look bad.
You're not a fan of his, then?
It's mutual. But you must have noticed that he doesn't deserve that position. He thinks he does just because he got here before me. He forgets that I was already in charge of this stuff back in the domed city.
Why don't you do something about it?
Why bother? The way he behaves, he'll be dead in the dirt within a year. Besides, I'm needed here. If he and I traded places, our supply chain would dry up in 2 days tops. But I'd be happy to teach you if you'd like. For a small fee, of course.
Could you teach me something?
Sure thing.
I'm not here to trade.
What do you want from me then?
Just looking around.
Okay, well, I'm busy sorting and rationing our supplies, so if you don't want anything, I'd appreciate if you left me alone.
You need help with your work?
Ah, so that's what you're after. You want a job. Well, if you want to help out, I always need supplies. So if you have any long-life food you want to get rid of, give it to me. Our trade convoy has gone missing, and there are no supplies coming in, which is a big problem.
What happened to your trade convoy?
If only I knew. They should have been here long ago. But if you're looking for work, I'd pay you to find them if you can, and help them if they're still alive.
About the trade convoy. Where should I start looking for them?
They can't be that far away, actually. I know they were on their way back from the Berserkers. They're probably somewhere between the fort and our castle.
I'll find them for you.
I'll make it worth your time. If you can help them reestablish their trade routes, I will reward you handsomely. And if they're dead, well, at least then I'll know I don't have to keep on waiting.
I have some supplies for you.
You know, I'll only take large quantities off your hands. I can't do much with individual cans. Show me what you got.
And? Were you able to prove that the clerics were involved in the attack?
No. It looks like Skybor just stole their metal.
Then he deceived not only us, but them as well.
Yeah. We won't get anywhere with the clerics. What did you find out?
Not much, I thought. But thanks to your information, it could look different. Did you run into an outlaw dealer in there?
Could be. Why do you ask?
Unlike you, I haven't found a safe way in. But out here, I observed 2 outlaws approaching the castle. Which sounds uninteresting, but may well have something to do with our case. They were sent to sell metal to the clerics.
How the hell do you know that?
I overheard them. So let's sum up the results. Here's the way I see it. Skibor takes advantage of his position and steals the metal. He goes to the outlaws and gets the bomb made. And all the metal that was left over, they wanted to hawk to the clerics again. Not exactly subtle, but certainly cunning.
So the outlaws are our next target.
Exactly. We still don't know how Skibor smuggled the bomb or his motivation, but I'm sure we'll find answers in the crater. If you got business here, get to it now. Otherwise, we'll leave.
I'm ready.
Good. I'll sync the coordinates with my adjutor. Then we'll teleport there. Or did you think we were gonna walk all that way?
Couldn't we have saved ourselves the trip to the clerics then?
You mean because I knew the coordinates of the castle? Well, I was hoping you'd take off while we were on the road. I was sure you wouldn't accept my command. How wrong can a person be? Besides, I have to admit your help has proven to be extremely useful.
Well, thank you very much.
Our differences have been settled. No need to hold a grudge. Well, shall we?
We shall.
It's a much more pleasant way to travel. Let's turn the crater upside down and get the answers.
So, what do we do?
Our target is an outlaw named Viper. The 2 outlaws I shadowed mentioned him. And if I'm not mistaken, he's the one Skibor got the bomb from. I'll take the north of the city, you take the south. Objections?
No, let's find this guy.
But don't go talking to just any random nobody. You need to specifically target people who have a lot of contact with others. Start with a gate guard. If you get to him before I do, put him through the ringer. You can do that without me. Everything will become clear soon. I can feel it.
I'm looking for Viper.
He expecting you?
Nope. Now where is he?
No fucking clue. Doesn't show his face out here much these days. But you're better off not finding him. He's a character. Really in a class of his own.
I'm looking for an outlaw. Goes by the name of Viper.
I don't really know him. I've only met him briefly. I had an audience with Baxter. Viper arrived shortly after me, but left again almost immediately. I haven't seen him around since. But this place is such a maze that it's easy to miss people. Sorry I couldn't be any more help to you.
Well, thanks for the information anyway.
kind of thing. I can't stand that sort of man.
Never earned an honest shard in his life.
I'll take that with a pinch of salt.
Nothing is certain.
We don't have to put up with this.
I'm not sticking around to listen to this shit.
Healing potion or moonshine. Whatever piss you're looking for, I'll give you a good price.
How's business?
Good, good. Anyone who makes it all the way here usually needs a stiff drink ASAP. The shelves are fully stocked and the distillery is pissing out more than my bladder. Now and again, I teach what I know to someone who stops by. That brings in a few shards too.
Can you teach me anything?
Sure, but it'll cost you.
Can you tell me where to find Viper?
Viper? Can't say I know him.
Right. How much?
You deaf? I said I don't know him. All I got is some hooch. You want?
What do you have?
Look around.
I don't like these strangers. Give in now and you'll lose everything eventually.
Maybe later.
Come on, man. Leave me alone.
Are you lost? The upper district is closed, so you can turn right back around.
Didn't you used to be a gate guard for the clerics?
I was. But when the Horde fell, I had to change tracks. As you can see, I kept my style. Just a few minor adjustments. In those days, I had to do some crooked shit to get shards. These days, I make money anytime someone fucks up. So if you're planning on stealing, fighting, or murdering, go for it. More money for me.
Where can I find Viper?
You're barking up the wrong tree. Hector doesn't want him around here. Try the lower districts.
Nothing. Again. That bastard is difficult to find. Somebody must know something.
Apparently they can even talk.
There'll still be just as much work.
Blade has no time for bums like you. So how about you kindly fuck off out of here?
Look, I don't want any trouble.
Good. So get the fuck out of my face.
Hey, for the
No time now. Maybe later. Get out of here!
Don't do that again!
Hey, mister, you looking for someone?
I mean, I am. But how do you know that?
None of your beeswax, but I'll help you find him for 1,000 shiny ones.
I'm not paying you that much.
5,000 then.
You have no idea how to haggle, do you? You're supposed to lower the price, not raise it higher.
Oh, then, I want 5. That's it.
If you actually help me, I'll give you 10.
Whoa, for real? Deal.
There, you've got your Elexit. So what have you got to tell me?
My daddy knows the guy you're looking for.
Does your daddy have a name?
He does, but you gotta guess it. It's no fun if you don't guess.
Okay, give me a clue.
He's the most important man in the whole crater.
Baxter is your daddy?
Not him. My daddy makes sure no one goes thirsty.
You're talking about Mick, the innkeeper.
Bingo! Hey, you're smarter than you look.
Your dad said he doesn't know the guy I'm looking for.
Oh, you would say that.
Okay, I'll ask him again.
Don't tell him I snitched. He'd get angry.
You got my word.
I gotta go now. See you around somewhere, maybe.
What do I think of it? Better to keep that to myself.
That rumor too.
I can't stand that sort of man.
Bullshit. You know who Viper is.
How? How do you know? God damn it. That little hussy's running her mouth again, ain't she?
That's none of your business.
There ain't nothing but trouble with that one. I swear.
Lay a hand on her, and you'll be in much bigger trouble.
All right, relax. I ain't gonna hurt her. It's just that if certain things reach the wrong people, my ass is grass, you know? Then there won't be no one around to take care of her. But that's my problem. We're talking about Viper. I do some work for him, delivering some stuff now and again, little jobs here and there, nothing major.
I want to meet him. Can you arrange that?
You sure are demanding, fella. He's gonna ask questions. What do I tell him when he asks why you want to meet?
We have a mutual friend, Skibor.
All right, fine. I'll tell him. Wait till tomorrow night. I'll let you know if the meeting's still on.
I don't like these strangers.
Yeah, and I heard they got into a bust-up.
Strictly speaking, that's true, but...
ELEX is just as bad for your body as chems and other alien substances. Why not enjoy some old canned food? Or
If you just asked me, would have never.
Walls don't help if the holes in them keep getting bigger.
Broadcasting from the orbit.
The enemy is coming. Whatever we do.
Give in now and you'll lose everything eventually. If it just asked me, would have never.
Basically, it makes no difference.
We have our way. It should be enough.
Apparently they can even talk.
And you just figured that out now, or?
How is that possible?
You don't have to take that shit. You don't say.
Floating around.
I can't stand that sort of man.
Damn creatures everywhere. You're screwed without a weapon. I'm so glad you found us.
You wouldn't happen to be the trade convoy that Vivian wants me to find.
Thank Callahan. Vivian sent you. I was afraid we'd be written off as dead already. We could really use your help.
First, tell me what happened.
I don't even know where to start. We wanted to try a new, shorter route. We knew it was dangerous, but we tried anyway. We were halfway back from the fort heading towards the castle when we were attacked. We ran away up the hill. Me and one of my guards lost our weapons on the way.
You should have strapped your guns on properly.
You ever try strapping your gun down while reavers shoot holes in the ground behind you? But that wasn't all. We somehow escaped the reavers and saw a hut. We thought we'd hide out in there for a while. As we slowly worked our way up, these damn spine hounds came and attacked us. So we ran again. We ran up here. Seems like my other guard lost his weapon on the way. And that's how you found us now, with no guns and those beasts on our tails. As you can see, we could really use your help.
You want me to help you look for your weapons?
We would appreciate that, yeah.
We can't show our faces in the castle again without them. We might as well throw ourselves to the spine hounds.
Where'd you lose them?
We lost 2 weapon packs somewhere on the way up here. Just look along the side of the road. The last weapon pack must be somewhere up here. We just can't seem to find the damn thing. Once you have them, please bring them back here quickly. I don't feel safe at all walking around unarmed.
Found your weapon packs.
Fantastic. At last. Now we can hit the road again and get back to our trade route. I'm sorry I don't have anything to give you in return.
I'm on assignment for Vivian. She'll pay me.
Oh yeah, right. You told me that already. In that case, I won't keep you any longer. I'm just glad we can finally get back to our trade route. Thanks again. I guess we'll see each other sometime. Callahan's blessings be upon you.
About the trade convoy. I helped them, and they're back on the road.
So you did it! Thank you. Hopefully I'll be getting my regular deliveries again soon. I promised you payment, so here it is.
Thanks.
Okay then, see you around. And don't forget, if you ever have any supplies, I'll gladly take them off your hands.